Good morning. We're going to take a little step back in time here, have a little history lesson. I'm going to tell you about this engine. It is a 1931 Fairbanks Morse Z. There's not a whole lot to it. It's just a small engine, and years ago back on the farm, if you didn't have electricity, you had one of these. Different sizes, of course, smaller ones, larger. This is considered a larger one. Then they had big ones the size of an automobile. But you would use this to power a washing machine or a water pump or a little sawmill to saw your wood with. It's a single cylinder engine. Very, very simple. Anyone could operate it. It's kind of dirty right now. I haven't started it in a while. It's kind of difficult to hand crank the thing to start it, and the littlest thing throws my back out of whack these days because I've got a bad lower back, so I can't mess with it like I like to. But I'm going to take the camera off the tripod and show you a little bit more about this engine. It is really something else, and it is definitely a piece of history. I bought this off a friend of mine and did a little restoration on it, and it runs pretty good when I take the time to start it. But let me show you this engine, and I'd like to get me a camera that's got a remote control so I don't have to do all of this. But here, as you can see, it's a Fairbanks Morse Z. It's 3 horsepower, 475 RPM. Here, you'd put the gasoline in here in this little tank. This is the carburetor, and there was another fuel tank underneath down here. The gasoline was used to start it with, and the tank down here would hold an alternative fuel, like distillate or some cheaper fuel like they used to use on farms. Up here is where you'd put the water. This is the radiator in here, and it just surrounds the cylinder inside. And this is the oiler. You put oil in here, and it actually drips oil down onto the cylinder. Very simple. Open crankshaft. It has these oiler cups. You put grease in these grease cups here. Tighten them down, and it, occasionally you just crank it, tighten it down, and it would grease again. It would grease the crankshaft. Another one here would grease the rod. And you can actually see the piston in the rod there. It's powered. It has a magneto. There's no battery. It's hand started. It has a magneto kind of like a small airplane. That magneto is your power, your battery, your distributor. It would take a little time to explain how a magneto works, but very simple. And here's the belt pulley. You would put a belt around this, run the belt up to whatever you're powering. Now, I have these old tractors, old John Deere tractors, and then old International tractors that also has belt pulleys on them. They would use tractors, farm tractors, for their engines too, to not only pull implements in the field, but power belts to operate other things. And but it's sitting on a military bomb cart because the thing weighs about 800 pounds. It's a very heavy little engine, and it's real simple. You can see the valves here on the thing, and it's about as simple as it gets as far as old technology. But some of that old technology is the best. It doesn't break down. It works when you want it to work. There's no plastic on that thing. It's something that works very well. It served its purpose. No fancy gizmos or anything here. It was just very simple, something that worked. And that's just a little step back in time for you. 1931 Fairbanks Morse Z. Thought you'd enjoy that. I'd like to give videos in a little more detail, but you got to keep them short. It takes forever to download these things. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Until the next one, this is Wing Rider. Hopefully before too long I'll do some more motorcycle videos. Until then, have a good day.